I want to ask you another legal issue. As president, how would you handle the ASAP Rocky case in Sweden? How will you use your power to make sure misuse of power doesn't happen in cases like this, and that this case would stay in the State Department and not go to the White House?
Listen, there is no question that this White House has been playing politics with his with his role of leadership, and it has to end. We have got to take this case on against Donald Trump and expose it for what it is.
So you're saying this is another piece on the rap sheet of Donald Trump, this misuse of power in the ASAP Rocky case?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Say it loud.
Yes.
Okay. I just wanted the folks to hear.
How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about what you just saw, which was a 2020 Democratic presidential hopeful Kamala Harris speaking to quote-unquote veteran White House reporter April Ryan at the NAACP Convention in Detroit, Michigan yesterday, which was Wednesday, July 24th, 2019. They were speaking about a variety of issues, but they got to a certain point where they were talking about ASAP Rocky. Now, I did a video covering that whole situation about the American rapper who is in Sweden on, in my humble opinion and the opinion of many others, unjust charges. He got into a fight that he did not start. He's being held. I'm not quite sure about those that started it, but that's a different story. And for now, I digress. He's currently in jail. People have reached out to President Trump to get him to try and help, see what he can do. He has personally called the Prime Minister of Sweden, spoke to him for like 20 minutes to try and get something going. I'm not sure if it's going to work or not, but Trump did do all he could, in my humble opinion, which was to call the leader of Sweden. Now, for some reason, April Ryan is asking Kamala Harris, is that an abuse of power? Kamala Harris goes on this whole big rant about, oh, he's always abusing his power. He keeps children in cages, all this kind of stuff. And then she ends it with agreeing with the statement that trying to free ASAP Rocky from the Swedish prison is an abuse of power. And not only did she say that, she also added this little nugget in there for a little bit of punctuation.
And I'm black and I'm proud. She said, say it loud.
Wait a minute, say that again. I didn't hear you. What did you say?
Say it loud. I'm black and I'm proud.
All right, now.
Black folks, anybody that's out there, but especially black folks, are you taking her seriously? I mean, for real, she's going to bank on the fact that you think she's black. She's not black. I mean, if one of your parents is not black, at best, you're mixed, like Barack Obama. Oh, he was the first black president. How is he a black president when he's black and white? How do you get to just pick whatever you want to be? That's that whole Sean King, Richard Dolezal. You get to identify as whatever you want to identify as. But again, I digress. Her mother is from the Indian subcontinent, not black at all. And her father, by all estimation, is biracial himself. So you are like 25 to 30% black at the most. How do you have that amount of admixture and call yourself black? I don't know, especially when you were introduced by the government, C-SPAN and other networks as an Indian American, 2 years ago when you were sworn in by guess who? Creepy Uncle Joe Biden. Or you one of the 5 Indian Americans sworn in to Congress. Now all of a sudden you black and you proud? Come on. This person is a clown. I said on my Facebook, and the status that pretty much has gone big right now, that Black Lives Matter, that organization that used to be all over the news, all over every city, causing a bunch of ruckus and riots and chaos, have been replaced with illegal immigrants. There was a point in time you turn on your television and all you would hear from the mainstream media are Black Lives Matter, hands up, don't shoot, this, that, and the third. Now, I don't hear about them anymore. None whatsoever. You may hear about a police involved shooting of a black person. It'll get news for like half a day on the networks and then it's gone. There was a case in Memphis with a guy that got shot by, I think, Homeland Security or somebody. Matter of fact, it was U.S. Marshals. It was the federales that came and got him because he was in Memphis and did a crime, an attempted murder and carjacking in Mississippi, which was right across the line. So he was wanted in 2 states, but different story. Then there was a case in Pete Buttigieg's town, city, whatever, which is South Bend, Indiana, of the officer involved shooting. Okay. Those got a little bit of coverage, but not much. In the case of Pete Buttigieg, the reason why I got any kind of coverage at all is because people in the city were protesting him because he was out there on the campaign trail trying to get the nomination rather than tending to the actual officer involved shooting. It was not about the shooting itself. The Black Lives Matter narrative is no longer important to the mainstream media because the focus right now is trying to get these illegals in here to get the Hispanic vote and also to get more illegals into the country. So if a Democratic president is able to win, you're going to issue them amnesty and then have them vote for you. It's pretty clear what's going on. It's funny how she says it's an abuse of power for the president to get involved with ASAP Rocky. You're talking about an American citizen locked up in a foreign country on unjust charges. It's an abuse of power for you to get involved with that. But it's not an abuse of power for you to get involved with the detaining of unlawful, illegal aliens that are in custody on the border. Oh, free the babies and free all the people. It shouldn't be a crime to cross the border. You want to get involved with that. But what about an innocent American citizen who is in jail overseas? So if it's an abuse of power for him to get involved with ASAP Rocky, what about Otto Warmbier, North Korea? What about any hostage that's taken overseas? Now, I understand it's not the same thing with Otto Warmbier, rest in peace, and ASAP Rocky, but you're talking about American citizens that are held in prison or jail or whatever overseas unjustly. Even if it is just, you should try to fight to get your citizens back to your country, especially if it's unjust, which is the case of ASAP Rocky. In the case of the illegals being held in custody, that is a just detaining. 1000%. Everyone knows that it is illegal to cross the border without the proper documentation, without permission. It's like breaking into my house. You can't say, oh, I didn't know it was legal to break his window and then hop in his house and take his stuff. It's the same way you know that it's illegal to come into the country. You can't say that you didn't know that. And last time I checked, ignorance was no excuse for the law, but nobody's able to claim ignorance. It's a well-known thing. You got to hop fences and walls and dig tunnels. Everyone knows that it's not legal to come into this country. These people, these Democrats are trying to play you. They're trying to play on your emotions. They'll lie to you talking about, I'm black and I'm proud. How? If you black and you proud, I'm white and I'm proud. How about that? I mean, for real, like, let's stop playing games here, Kamala Harris. You are not black. You are not for American citizens. You're just trying to get yourself in power. You're trying to stay in power for the Democratic Party. You don't have a chance, really. I mean, even if you get a nomination in this very weak field, it doesn't even really matter. How are you going to beat President Trump? Okay, it's not possible. I'm seeing you in the airports. Nobody's giving you any kind of love. It's just not. You have no enthusiastic people behind you. There's no enthusiasm in their eyes. I see people that are just going to vote for whoever's a Democrat, and that's not going to be able to galvanize your base, which is exactly why Donald Trump will win yet again in 2020. So that's pretty much all I got. What say you? How do you feel about Kamala Harris saying that it's an abuse of power for the president to get involved with an American citizen being detained overseas unjustly, regardless of what it is, regardless of whether he's a rapper, he's a singer, regular person, politician? It doesn't matter who the person is. They're an American and they're overseas. Trump has brought back Americans from other countries that are detaining them. I think there was a priest or a preacher in Turkey, North Korean hostages, a lot of people that he has brought back to the States. Why is that outside of his purview to do so? And if it is outside of his scope, if it's an abuse of power to do that, then why is it not an abuse of power for you, Kamala Harris, to get involved with trying to free illegal, unlawful aliens who are in this country? They shouldn't be here. They got to go back. They're crossing the border with drugs, human trafficking children, all kind of stuff. Why is it okay for you to get involved with that, but not okay for the president to get involved with actual hostages that are American citizens that are held overseas? Prisoners, hostages, whatever you want to call them. I see a big time double standard, but you know what? As I close, I want to say this. Without double standards, Democrats have no standards. I think I'm right here. Maybe you think I'm wrong, but whatever your comments are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.